The fact that most modern AAA games still treat their worlds like a static movie set is actually insane. And I'm serious, because if you think about it, we've spent the last decade obsessed with resolution, ray tracing, and fake AI-generated frames, while the actual soul of the world, the way things move, break, and react, has basically stayed frozen in 2013. We have 12 teraflop GPUs and lightning-fast SSDs, yet most digital environments are still just beautiful, non-interactive paintings. That is about to end. Rockstar Games isn't just building a prettier version of Vice City. They are building a world where the laws of physics are finally being enforced. And by the time the credits roll on GTA 6, the rest of the industry is going to look like it's standing still. To understand why this engine will break every game that follows it, you have to understand the invisible war happening inside your console between graphics and simulation. The biggest enemy of a truly reactive world isn't the graphics card, it's the CPU. Most modern developers have fallen into a trap. They use the power of the PS5 and Series X to push more pixels, leaning on upscaling like DLSS or FSR to hide the fact that the game underneath isn't actually doing much. But Rockstar has always played a different game. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. On a base PS4 with a laptop-grade processor from 2013, they managed to simulate muscle tension in horses, dynamic mud deformation, and a functioning ecosystem. They didn't do that with raw power. They did it with a level of engineering discipline that has basically vanished from the rest of the industry. With GTA 6, they are taking the Rage engine and turning it into a simulation monster. We aren't just talking about better car crashes. Think about what we saw in the first glimpses of Vice City. Fluid dynamics that allow for realistic wake patterns and water displacement. Hair and cloth simulations that react to wind, humidity, and movement in real time. Crowd density, where every NPC has individual limb physics and collision. Vehicle deformation that isn't just a preset, damaged model, but a calculation of force and material. Atmospheric lighting that interacts with volumetric particles like dust, smog, and rain. This creates a massive problem for the PS5. The console is a fixed box, and everything in GTA 6 is fighting over the same 16 gigabytes of shared memory. In most games, if you want better physics, you have to sacrifice the resolution. If you want a denser crowd, you have to drop the frame rate. This is the locked box dilemma. Rockstar's solution isn't to just make it run, it's to cheat so beautifully that you never see the seams. In GTA 5 on the PS3, they used a dual-pipe streaming system to bypass the slow Blu-ray drive, forcing an installation so they could pull data from the hard drive and the disc simultaneously. In GTA 6, the SSD is the new delivery truck, but the RAM is a tiny warehouse that is constantly being emptied and refilled. As you fly a stunt plane over the neon lights of the Strip, the engine is likely deleting the swamp you just left behind in milliseconds, while frantically calculating the physics of the traffic below you before your eyes can even register the detail. But the real physics breakthrough isn't just visual, it's behavioral. This is where the CPU nightmare begins. In a standard open world, if you drive a car into a crowd, the game plays a few pre-baked animations. In GTA 6, the updated Euphoria physics engine has to simulate how a body reacts to impact in real time, accounting for momentum, weight, and environment. When you add in the fact that every one of those NPCs might be filming you on a phone that has its own screen, its own light source, and its own physics-based tether to the character's hand, the math becomes astronomical. This is why GTA 6 will make the PS5 feel old. Not because the hardware is weak, but because Rockstar is attacking every single bottleneck at once. The industry has spent years using AI digital crutches to avoid doing the hard work of optimization. Studios have gotten sloppy, trusting engines to handle the heavy lifting while they ship games that stutter and tear on day one. Cyberpunk 2077 proved that you cannot simply scale down a world built for the future onto hardware that wasn't designed to stream it. Rockstar does the opposite. They build for the limit, then they push the limit until it breaks. When this game drops, the standard for immersion will shift overnight. It won't be enough for a game to have 4K textures if the trees don't move right or the water feels like blue plastic. Players will expect a world that reacts, a world that lives even when the player isn't looking. Every developer using a stock engine with preset physics is going to find themselves in the shadow of a simulation that shouldn't be possible on a machine from 2020.
The magic of Rockstar isn't brute force, it's the illusion of infinite complexity maintained by absolute technical discipline. They remind us that optimization isn't just a chore, it's a craft. While the rest of the industry leans on AL to hallucinate pixels, Rockstar is using engineering to simulate reality. In the end, GTA 6 might not just be the biggest game of the decade, it might be the final testament to what can be achieved when you refuse to use a crutch. It's a reminder that hardware limits are only walls if you don't know how to climb them. And once we've seen what's on the other side, there's no going back. What do you think? Are you ready for a world that finally fights back? Or are we expecting too much from a box under our TV? Let me know in the comments. A subscribe would be appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.